everybody. I'm Briscoe. I'm really thrilled that I have an opportunity to do this. Anytime the Arts Council asks for something, they're going to get it from me. Or anytime they say I can do something, I'll do it. That's the best way to maybe put it. Welcome to the back of my house, Petersburg, Indiana. We like to call it God's country. Let me know if there's a coyote or anything coming up behind me. Could happen. All right, so I'm going to play 4 songs for you. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how this whole quarantine's affecting me. It's kind of profound. I'm sure it's very profound for you as well. But just to start out with, I never play sitting down, and I am. So I'm trying to be relaxed. I would never wear shorts to a gig. I think I played sitting down one time, and within my band, it's kind of a famous time because me and one of the other guys in the band almost got in a fight in a loving way, right? So here's a song I wrote after seeing Bruce Springsteen in Chicago. I was never a fan of Bruce Springsteen, never disliked him, but after seeing the show, he had a major impact on me. And I don't mention Bruce, I don't think, in this song, but the spirit of it, of that evening's there. It's more about that evening. It's called Full Moon Chicago. I was coming around the mountain, why it used to be called Comiskey. My heart was on my sleeve. I knew I wasn't alone. I was coming around the mountain, and I saw the glory and I felt its pain. Even though it was built on our backs, even though it was built on our backs. I've seen canyons and rivers and mountains. I spit off Pikes Peak and Bastion U. God, how I took you in. Like a river it flows. Dan Ryan, she grows. This asphalt is our journey. And the statues rain down on me. 'Cause in this moonlight, the smelly summer night, our power is awesome. We prove it all night. We prove it all night. All night. We prove it all night. Longing in our presence and rising up like a prayer. Even though it was built on our backs, even though it was built on our backs. Well, sometimes I believe. Well, sometimes I believe. Well, sometimes I believe. Well, sometimes I believe we can fly. Well, that's fun. I'll tell you one of the weird things about this time is I'm used to playing out, doing gigs. Playing like this, it's similar to rehearsal, but you know, when you know somebody's watching, you feel like you want to communicate with them directly and pick people out of the audience. And that makes this kind of interesting. I think you're seeing that on all the people who are performing in their living rooms, even the people who are big stars, and you see them struggling with it, and it's fascinating to watch. Speaking of big stars, I'm gonna do a song I wrote when I got to play a festival in New York, and I witnessed the whole groupie element in a firsthand way, where you know how you always want to be a fly on the wall. Well, I was the fly on the wall, and I took notes, and I actually wrote this song that night, and this is called Cooper Square Cold Front. To touch your face, it's so personal. It's an intimate reward. A brush with fame that I'd like to recall. Just a gleam in my eye, but a bruise that may leave a scar. Slacks and boots and those jackets on loan. Chivalry dies there. All we needed was some time. And maybe some red wine. You jumped into your cab while I waited on mine. I was surprised that I didn't want to know that I had this in me. So please leave it alone. Just leave it alone. Hold me close. 'Cause it's not enough to say we'll always be friends. That never ends. That never begins. All we needed was some time. Maybe some red wine. You jumped into your cab while I waited on mine. So that's this campaign that was short and sweet, little long in the teeth. It's great to be in love as often as you can. And that famous guy, well, I hope he's good enough. I'm sure he's good enough. I'm sure he's good enough. All we needed was some time. And maybe some red wine. You jumped into your cab while I waited on mine. Thank you. Don't do that at home. Your sound guy will get really mad at you if you do that. I was supposed to be in Ireland playing right now. Actually, tonight, when I'm taping this, I was supposed to be on my way to Paris. So I had a European tour, and I was going to be working on my television show, Any Road, and actually my radio show too, the song show. And you know, all of my shows, everything I do involves travel. I don't play a lot of local gigs. I play some. I love playing regionally and in Evansville and the surrounding area. I mean, I really love it. But for what I do, it's better that I travel. And for my TV show, I have to travel. It's a travel music show. And about 6 weeks before all this happened, you know, I was on top of the world. I had a European tour. I was going to do an entire season of my television show in Ireland, Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, England, and France. and I was going to be gone 6-7 weeks. And well, we're not doing that right now, but we've rescheduled and we're planning on doing it. And deep in my heart, I know it's going to happen. But that's really had a profound effect on me. Just the same way, the service industry in general, it's been totally messed up. And, bless you folks who can work from home and continue to have an income. The rest of us, we're gonna do the best we can, because we're survivors. I think almost all musicians and service workers, we know how to get by in the tough times, and I think it's really heartwarming to see how we're all supporting each other the best we can. Some of us, it's not like about money. I can't, I'm not able to donate a bunch of money to anybody, but I'm able to help out, and I know that's the same with all the people in the scene. I'm going to play a song off my last album that actually I wrote and recorded in Paris. My record was called From Lucky Point to Père Lachaise, and this was the single that actually broke it through, and it was a great thing for me, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. That's close enough. And I never play it this way. It's normally got a band behind it and a synthesizer and a bunch of other stuff, so this will be kind of fun to see what it sounds like this way. It's called 12 by 12. Do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do. I took the 12 to meet some tall young men and needed familiar smells to shake off some old guy tail. And when I found the place, I blew kisses, and now I'm lost in space. Do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do. The boys, I'll call them boys, they were aloof but free. Met all the girls on the Champs-Élysées, and when I found my place, I painted my face, but I'm still lost in space. Do 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 do, do 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 do, do 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 do. I jumped at 12, prayed to go home tonight, a different man in the same clothes, but filled with adventures for you. Then I found my place, I still painted my face, but I'm still lost in space. I'm fractured but confident, my head held high. The stones on the roof, here's mud in your eye. Fractured but confident, my head held high. The stones on the roof, here's mud in your eye. Fractured but confident, my head held high. The stones on the roof, here's mud in your eye. The mud in your eye, mud in your eye, mud in your eye, mud in your eye. That song has real significance to me. I hope it came across that way. So I'm going to do one more for you. During this whole thing we're doing here, this quarantine and everything, there's a lot of loneliness, and then there's these bursts of joy. It's the strangest thing. I wonder if you're feeling that too. And I know I'm feeling that. And one of the things that I'm lucky about is I do a radio show, and I can kind of still do that. Everything's a lot different, but over the last week or so, I've interviewed 50 former guests and future guests as well, and helped them curate my show to help celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Song Show. And I'll tell you what, talking to somebody in Paris or in Marseille or in Wales or in Boston or in Evansville, and to find out we're all kind of feeling the same, it's just really, really done me just so much for my soul. I encourage you to reach out to people and share the gift that you have of humanity, and I know that we're all struggling with that. And I apologize, I don't know where to look. It's really weird. And I have a TV show, and I'm used to looking at the camera, but this is so different. This one, up until Lucky Point came out, this was the most downloaded song I had. It's called For Canadian Border Guard. And I wrote it after trying to come back into the United States with a bunch of art, like almost 6 figures art. I was working with a company that sold art. So we had this all expedited, had all signed off on the government on both sides, but we tried to come back to the United States with it, and it was a nightmare. It's called For Canadian Border Guard. I have to ask you a question. It's harder 'cause I'm sober, but what are you thinking? And I just asked you a question. Could you put your hand there? Lower. You'll forget me someday, and I'll be dead before you. But I will outlive this, our international. I wish I had a cigarette and a beer, or whiskey, or anything. You caught up with me, you and I running so fast, taking it in stride that we miss everything. Self-indulgent lover with an artistic side. You look like Picasso, but you're really Pikachu. And thank God, 'cause he really blesses you. Yeah, bless you. Yeah, bless you. I wish I had a cigarette and a beer, or whiskey, or anything. I wish I had a cigarette and a beer, or whiskey, or anything. I wish I had a cigarette and a beer, or whiskey, or anything. I wish I had a cigarette and a beer, or whiskey, or anything. Wish I had a cigarette and a beer, or whiskey, or anything, anything, anything. Well, thank you so much for paying attention, if you did. And it means a lot that you all are out there supporting artists of all kinds, musicians, painters, sculptors, accountants, whoever. See ya. Hope to see y'all soon.